Carter was born 7 weeks premature. Everything was fine until it wasn't. We found out from the doctor that I likely have an autoimmune disorder called antiphospholipid syndrome, which causes complications. What that means is I couldn't safely get pregnant without doing anticoagulation therapy. And that combined with the fact that I sustained a lot of damage in surgery means I couldn't carry to full term. And so we'd have to deliver another premature baby if we decided to proceed with another child of our own. And so that eventually steered us towards adoption. We were in Washington. We weren't in a good place to do that. We were so far from home. We didn't want to start that process. And then we came back to Kansas and we thought, well, this is really expensive from what we've figured out. And I actually came home one day and had kind of put it out of my mind. And I found this stack of paperwork on the countertop that Mike had left. And it was kind of like, hey, just wanted you to know my company now has updated their family plan, very nonchalant. And that family plan included some reimbursement for adoption. I had a patient of mine who had adopted through Catholic Charities, and I had no idea where to start. And so I was like, well, okay, if we're gonna look at this, let's look at what the cost is. And I just Googled Catholic Charities because it's the only thing I'd heard out there. And now I know how fortunate that was. Because of the donations and because of the support, it cuts down the cost for adoptive parents. I think it's important too. Our birth mother, she needed new opportunities. And after the fact, Catholic Charities doesn't just say, well, thanks for signing papers, goodbye. They support the mother. They provide counseling for the mother. Our birth mother wanted to relocate. They made that happen for her and financially helped her get settled somewhere else and get a new start. They really care about all parties involved.
Working with the people from Catholic Charities, when we came up here to Salina, always very polite, very kind, very helpful.
We had a long wait, I guess, but once we got in, they got the ball rolling with everything. And then it was just profiles here. Now we're just waiting on a family to pick us. I was working with a patient and I got a phone call and I was like, I don't know that number because I never talked to Peggy on her cell phone. And I put it to voicemail and I forgot about it. And then I'm sitting there at the table at night and I was like, oh yeah, someone called me and it's Peggy. And she's like, hey, you've been selected by a birth mom. I need you to call me. I texted Mike and said, you need to come home, which he knew right away, that's the only thing I would probably interrupt him for. He literally walked in the door and he said, okay, so tell me how my life's about to change, because he already knew.
Oscar is very active, very vivacious. In the morning when she's getting ready, she gets him up and then puts him in the bed with me, and that's my time to wrestle with him and play with him. And now he's starting to stand up, so he stands up against the headboard and rolls around, sits up.
It's fun to see Carter with Oscar. He's a great big brother, and so just seeing what Oscar adds to our family, he's a very proud brother. And to see Carter take care of somebody else and bond and want to play, and we know that he was missing that in his life too, and so we know it was a really great choice.
Oscar's gonna have a great opportunity to grow up, and if Catholic Charities wasn't here, that wouldn't have happened.
It's been a really big blessing for us.